All right, today we're going deep on an absolute legend. We're going to break down why Ridley Scott's 1979 masterpiece, Alien, isn't just some old sci-fi flick. It's a masterclass in terror that, seriously, still gets under your skin decades later. Let's dive in. And that's really the million-dollar question, isn't it? I mean, think about it. We've got insane CGI and horror movies coming out every week. So how does a film from the 70s still feel so raw and genuinely terrifying? Well, that's exactly what we're here to figure out. This quote right here, it absolutely nails it. The secret sauce of Alien isn't the jump scares. It's all about atmospheric horror. And that's the core idea we're going to unpack together. So the setup is just brilliantly simple. You've got the crew of this commercial towing vessel, the Nostromo, and they get woken up from cryosleep to check out a distress signal. Simple enough, right? But what they find and what they accidentally bring back on board, well, that's where the nightmare begins. Okay, so how does Ridley Scott take that simple idea and spin it into pure, unfiltered dread? It all comes down to one word: atmosphere. This is where the movie's real genius is. It all starts with a setting. And this is such a crucial point. Most sci-fi back then, and even now, shows space as this beautiful, awe-inspiring frontier. Alien does the complete opposite. Here, space is a cold, lonely, and totally hostile vacuum. It's not an adventure, it's a trap. And here's exactly how he pulls it off. It's not about what you see, but what you don't see lurking in those deep, dark shadows. The silence is just heavy, you know? It only gets broken by these creepy hisses and beeps from the ship. And the ship itself, it's not some sleek, futuristic vessel. It's a space truck, gritty, industrial, with these tight, claustrophobic corridors that feel like they're closing in on you. You feel trapped right there with the crew. But you know, a scary place is nothing if you don't care about the people in it. The human element is what makes the horror in Alien hit so close to home. And right at the heart of it all is one of the greatest heroes in movie history. So here's the thing about Ellen Ripley, played so perfectly by Sigourney Weaver. She is not a superhero. Just look at this comparison. She isn't reckless, she is cautious, the one who actually reads the rule book. She uses her intelligence to solve problems, not just her muscles. And most importantly, she's incredibly resilient, but she is not invincible. She gets terrified, she struggles, she feels completely real. And that's why we're with her every step of the way. And it's not just Ripley. The entire crew of the Nostromo feels like a bunch of real blue-collar workers. You know, they're complaining about their pay, arguing over dinner. They just feel like actual colleagues. That everyday realism is what makes it so terrifying when things go wrong. Their terror feels like it could be your terror. Of course, we have to talk about the monster. The creature at the heart of this movie is just legendary. It's a true masterpiece of horror design. The Xenomorph, born from the mind of artist H.R. Giger, was like nothing anyone had ever seen before. It's this perfect, horrifying mix of organic and mechanical. It looks like it was both born and built. It has this kind of awful beauty to it, and that one-of-a-kind design is a huge reason it's still so iconic. But hey, a cool design is one thing. What makes the Xenomorph so uniquely terrifying in the movie? Well, the answer isn't about what the film shows you. It's about what it doesn't show you. This right here is the key. Scott was a genius for this. By only showing the creature in these quick, terrifying flashes, he forces our own imaginations to fill in the blanks. And let's be real, the monster we create in our own heads is always way scarier than anything on screen. This restraint makes those moments when we do get a clear look, like the still shocking today chestburster scene, hit with just unbelievable force. And this smart, patient approach to horror is what lifts Alien way above your average monster movie. Just under the surface-level terror, this film is exploring some really unsettling ideas about us. I mean, the story is wrestling with some huge concepts. You've got the cold, heartless nature of corporate greed, where profit is worth more than human life. You've got the brutal reality of just primal, killer-be-killed survival. And of course, the overwhelming vulnerability of humanity when we face something truly unknown and hostile. And honestly, this might be the most chilling theme of all. The crew discovers that to their bosses, they are completely expendable. The alien is a physical threat, for sure, but the cold, inhuman indifference from their own company, that's a different kind of horror, and one that feels way too real. So, when you put all of these pieces together, the atmosphere, the characters, the absolutely brilliant creature design, and all that thematic weight, what's the final call? The review we've been looking at does not mince words. A perfect score. And frankly, it's hard to disagree. It's a 5-star film that just gets everything right, crafting an experience that's as smart and artistic as it is absolutely terrifying. This quote really says it all, doesn't it? Alien didn't just follow the rules of its genres, it completely tore up the playbook and redefined them. It showed us that sci-fi could be dark and dirty, and that horror could be patient, intelligent, and deeply atmospheric. And that just leaves us with this final question to chew on. What really makes a film timeless? Is it the filmmaking, the story, or the ideas? Alien seems to argue that the answer is a perfect, terrifying combination of all three. It makes you wonder, what other monsters are out there that we're ignoring while we're so focused on the one right in front of us? Thanks for joining me for this one.